Good morning, students. So today we are going to start our next topic, and our next topic is cellular respiration. So far in my previous lectures, I have taught you about the mechanism of respiration, that how respiration is a catabolic reaction. Then we have also studied that how the plants they undergoes the process of breathing. What are the events that takes place during aerobic and anaerobic respiration? We have also studied about the process of glycolysis. So in today's lecture, I am going to tell you more about aerobic respiration. First of all, I want to recall the topic which we have done in our previous class. So students, I have told you when the process of evolution takes place on the earth, the first cell which appears on this planet, it is actually the cell that generally adopted the process of anaerobic respiration, because the earth atmosphere at that time is a reducing type of atmosphere and no oxygen gas is present on the planet. So the first cells which appear on the surface of earth, they are generally anaerobic in nature, and the process of respiration adopted by them is also anaerobic respiration. So breakdown of food or respiratory substrate takes place, but under anaerobic conditions, that is in the absence of oxygen. So we have studied about glycolysis, and this glycolysis is also a type of anaerobic pathway. So I have discussed that in living organisms, the partial breakdown of the glucose molecule takes place, and this takes place in the cytoplasm of the cell with the help of so many enzymes, but without oxygen. So that's why this process is called a glycolysis. So it is simply the breakdown of the glucose, which is a 6 carbon compound, into a 3 carbon compound, pyruvic acid. So let us study in detail about the process of glycolysis once again. Before this, I want to tell you here the differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So listen carefully. In aerobic respiration, the breakdown of food takes place in the presence of oxygen. And in anaerobic respiration, this breakdown of food takes place in the absence of oxygen. Okay, students, energy is released in higher amount in aerobic respiration, whereas energy is released in lesser amount in anaerobic respiration. Then in aerobic respiration, carbon dioxide and water are the end product, whereas in anaerobic respiration, end products may be lactic acid, carbon dioxide, and alcohol. Aerobic respiration is a slow process and takes a longer time to release energy, whereas anaerobic respiration, it is comparatively a fast process. So the examples of aerobic respiration is that aerobic respiration generally takes place in animals and plant cells, whereas anaerobic respiration, it takes place in some human cells, yeast, fungi, and some primitive type of bacteria. Student, here we are going to recall once again the topic of glycolysis. As I have told you, glycolysis is the breakdown of the glucose molecule, which is a hexose sugar, in the cytoplasm with the help of enzymes and in the absence of oxygen. And as a result of glycolysis, a 3 carbon compound is formed, and this 3 carbon compound is known as pyruvate or pyruvic acid. So this glycolysis is a reaction that takes place in multi steps. So listen to me carefully, students. First of all, the 6 carbon compound, that is glucose, it enters into the cell, and this glucose, it later changes into glucose 6 phosphate, and this glucose 6 phosphate, when it is formed from glucose 6 carbon compound, one ATP molecule is used. Then this glucose 6 phosphate, it later changes into fructose 6 phosphate, and the fructose 6 phosphate, it later form fructose 1,6 bisphosphate. Again, one ATP molecule is used in this reaction, and the fructose 1,6 bisphosphate, it later undergoes division and it forms triox phosphates. Two types of triox phosphates are formed. One is glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Both of them are the 3 carbon compound. And when this triose phosphate, it later changes into two molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid, then 1-NADH2 molecule is formed. Later 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid changes into two molecules of 3-phosphoglyceric acid, and again one ATP molecule is generated. Then this 3-phosphoglyceric acid, which is a 3-carbon compound, it changes into 2-phosphoglycerate, two molecules, and again water molecule is released, so it is a dehydration reaction. And 2-phosphophenol pyruvate, it later form two molecules of pyruvic acid, and one ATP molecule is produced during this reaction. So after the partial breakdown of the glucose in the cytoplasm, at last we get two molecules of pyruvic acid. So in the entire process of glycolysis, two molecules of ATPs are used, and in the end two molecules of ATPs, they are regenerated. So the net gain of ATP from this glycolysis process is two ATP molecules. Along with this, one NADH2 molecule is formed during the reaction. So this NADH molecule, it later oxidized to form NAD plus and enters into the mitochondria, where in the mitochondrial matrix, it undergoes the process of oxidative phosphorylation. So in this way, this NADH molecule, NADH2 molecules of NADH are formed in mitochondria later. Okay, student, here I have written the differences between glycolysis and Krebs cycle. So always remember, glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm, whereas Krebs cycle, which is a part of the aerobic respiration, it takes place inside the matrix of the mitochondria. Glycolysis is a linear pathway, whereas Krebs cycle is a cyclic pathway. So glycolysis is the first step of respiration in which glucose is broken down and form pyruvate, which is a 3-carbon compound. Whereas in Krebs cycle, it is the second step of the respiration, and here an active acetyl group, it is broken down completely. Fourth point in glycolysis is the process is common to both aerobic and anaerobic modes of respiration. Whereas Krebs cycle, it is always occurs in aerobic respiration. In glycolysis, it degrades a molecule of glucose into two molecules of an organic substance that is known as pyruvate. And Krebs cycle, it degrades pyruvate completely into inorganic substances, and that is carbon dioxide and water. Then glycolysis consumes two ATP molecules for the initial phosphorylation of the substrate molecule, whereas Krebs cycle, it does not consume any ATPs, whereas ATPs are produced. The net gain is two molecules of NADH and two molecules of ATP for every molecule of glucose broken down, whereas in Krebs cycle produces 6 molecules of NADH and 2 molecules of FADH2 for every 2 molecules of acetyl-CoA oxidized by it. Yes, student, here we are going to study about the next type of anaerobic respiration, which is commonly known as fermentation. So the process of fermentation, it usually occurs in a unicellular fungi, and that is a yeast. So what happened during this process, the incomplete oxidation of the glucose is achieved, but under anaerobic conditions by set of reactions. And in these reactions, the pyruvic acid is converted into carbon dioxide and ethanol. The reactions are catalyzed by two enzymes, and one enzyme is pyruvic acid decarboxylase, and the another enzyme is alcohol dehydrogenase. So both of these enzymes, they catalyze the reaction. So organisms such as bacteria, they generally produce lactic acid in certain cases, and fermentation by the enzyme lactate dehydrogenase. Then here the reducing agent is NADH2, and which is reoxidized to NAD+. Yes, student, in both lactic acid or alcoholic fermentation, not much amount of energy is released, and less than 7% of energy present in the glucose molecule is only released. And not all of the energy is trapped as in a high energy bonds of ATPs. So here one flow chart is visible on your screen. So see the pathway of glycolysis. Glucose it enters and later it gets converted into pyruvic acid. And this pyruvic acid it later enters, or its breakdown takes place in two ways during fermentation. It may be lactic acid fermentation or alcoholic fermentation. So during lactic acid fermentation, lactic acid is formed, and during alcoholic fermentation, ethanol is produced along with carbon dioxide and some amount of energy. A student, in fermentation, as you know that the fermentation process, it is generally related with the primitive type of organisms such as unicellular fungi, yeast. So here I am going to discuss about the another process, and that is the important process, aerobic respiration. So in aerobic respiration, there is a complete oxidation of the glucose molecule. A large amount of energy is produced from the breakdown of these respiratory substrates, which are actually the macromolecules. So what happened during this process? The complete oxidation of the organic molecules or substances takes place in the presence of plenty of oxygen. And carbon dioxide, water, and large amount of energy is produced during this reaction, which is later stored in the form of ATP. So we have large amount of ATP is formed during the aerobic respiration. Yes, student, aerobic respiration, it generally takes place in the mitochondria, and the final product of glycolysis, which is pyruvate, it is transported from the cytoplasm into the mitochondria. So when this pyruvate, it is transported in the cytoplasm, from the cytoplasm into the mitochondria, then after this, two crucial steps it takes place during the process of aerobic respiration. Number one is the complete oxidation of the pyruvate by the stepwise removal of the hydrogen atoms and leaving three molecules of carbon dioxide. That means decarboxylation also takes place. And when the pyruvate it is oxidized, then there is stepwise removal of the hydrogen atoms. Students, you know very well, whenever hydrogen atom it comes out from any molecule, it always release in the form of a proton. And to satisfy the valency, the equal number of electrons, they also have to leave. So second step is the passing on of the electrons removed as a part of hydrogen atoms to molecular oxygen. And along with this simultaneous synthesis of ATP, it also takes place. So let us study how this happens. The first process in which the stepwise removal of hydrogen atom and decarboxylation, that means removal of three carbon dioxide molecules takes place, it generally happens in the matrix of the mitochondria, whereas the second process in which the transport of the electrons takes place and finally its acceptance by the oxygen molecule, and it is oxidative phosphorylation, and it is a part of electron transport chain. It generally happens in the inner membrane of the mitochondria, which is known as a cristae. So pyruvate, which is formed as a result of breakdown of glucose in glycolysis, or you can say glycolytic catabolism. It is present in the cytoplasm, and from the cytoplasm it enters into the mitochondrial matrix and it undergoes oxidative decarboxylation. And it is a complex set of reactions, and the reactions are catalyzed by the enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase. And the reactions, they require the participation of so many coenzymes along with this pyruvate dehydrogenase, and these coenzymes may be NAD plus, an energy rich molecule, and coenzyme E. Student, here one equation is visible on your screen. Pyruvic acid, it reacts with CoE plus NAD plus in the presence of magnesium ions as cofactor, and main enzyme here is pyruvate dehydrogenase, and it forms acetyl CoA, carbon dioxide, and NADH2 molecule. So if we multiply the whole equation by 2, Then from this equation, we conclude that 2 molecules of NADH2 is formed, which yields 6 molecules of ATP. So from glycolysis, we receive 2 molecules of ATP, and from NADH, from this equation of aerobic respiration, we obtain 2 molecules of NADH. That means 6 ATPs, and previous 2 ATPs are 2 ATPs. So from glycolysis and aerobic respiration, the net gain is of 8 ATPs. And later the 36 ATPs, they are formed from the Krebs cycle. I will tell you how it happens. Yes, students, here I have entered some flow chart, and that gives us a difference between respiration and combustion, respiration and fermentation. We will do these later on. First of all, I want to tell you more about aerobic respiration. So during this process, 2 molecules of NADH, which are actually produced from the metabolism of 2 molecules of pyruvic acid, they are formed, and the acetyl CoA that enters in a cyclic pathway, and that cyclic pathway is known as a tricarboxylic acid cycle, or in short you can say TCA cycle or Krebs cycle, as it was first elucidated by the scientist Hans Krebs. So honor of Hans Krebs, this cycle is popularly known as a Krebs cycle. Okay, student, here one flowchart is visible on your screen that you have also memorized in class 10. That glucose, which is a 6-carbon compound, it enters into the cytoplasm and glycolysis takes place, and as a result pyruvate, which is a 3-carbon molecule, it is formed. And later on, the oxidation of the pyruvate, it takes place under 3 conditions. In the absence of oxygen, it takes place in the yeast fungi, which is a unicellular fungus. And as a result, ethanol, carbon dioxide, and some amount of energy is produced. And if the reaction of oxidation of pyruvate takes place in lack of oxygen, it happens in our muscle cells. And lactic acid, which is a 3-carbon compound, it is formed along with some amount of energy. And third one is in the presence of oxygen, that means plenty of oxygen, the process takes place in mitochondria. And as a result, carbon dioxide, water, and large amount of energy, that means 36 ATPs, they are produced during this aerobic respiration. So always remember, aerobic respiration takes place in mitochondria, whereas anaerobic respiration, it takes place in cytoplasm of the cell. Yes, student, here the tricarboxylic acid cycle, TCA cycle, or you can say Krebs cycle, is visible on your screen. So what happened? Pyruvate, which is a 3-carbon compound, it finally enters into the mitochondrial matrix from the cytoplasm of the cell. Now you know that aerobic respiration, it starts here, this 3-carbon compound. It reacts with CoA enzyme, and later on in the presence, here this NAD plus, it is later reduced into NADH2. And in this step, acetyl coenzyme A is produced, and 1 molecule of carbon dioxide, it is removed during the reaction. Now this acetyl coenzyme A, its complete oxidation takes place, and it is a 2-carbon compound, and it later changes into citric acid, which is a 6-carbon compound. And when this citric acid, which is a 6-carbon compound, it changes into alpha ketobutaric acid, which is a 5-carbon compound, then during this conversion, this 1 molecule of carbon dioxide, it releases, and 1 molecule of NADH2 is formed. And later on, this alpha ketobutaric acid, which is a 5-carbon compound, it changes into succinic acid, which is a 4-carbon compound. And during this process, 1 molecule of carbon dioxide is removed, 1 molecule of NADH2 is formed, and 1 molecule of GTP, that is guanosine triphosphate, it is formed. Then this succinic acid, which is a 4-carbon compound, it later formed malic acid, which is a 4-carbon compound, and during this process, another energy rich molecule is formed, that is FADH2. And this malic acid, which is a 4-carbon compound, it later changes into oxaloacetic acid, which is again a 4-carbon compound. And during this step, one energy-rich molecule NADH2, it is formed. So in this way, you have observed there is the removal of 3 molecules of carbon dioxide. When pyruvate, it changes into acetyl coenzyme. 1 carbon dioxide molecule is released. Then citric acid, when changes into alpha ketoglutarate acid, second CO2 molecule is released. And when alpha ketoglutarate acid, it changes into succinic acid. Then again, third molecule of carbon dioxide is released. And energy-rich molecules are formed in these cases. So here NADH2, it is formed when pyruvate changes into acetyl coenzyme. The second NADH2 is formed when citric acid changes into alpha ketoglutarate acid. And third NADH molecule, it is formed when alpha ketoglutarate acid, it is changes into succinic acid. And fourth NADH molecule is formed when malic acid, it changes into oxaloacetic acid. So in this way, we have 4 molecules of NADH, which are produced during the entire citric acid pathway. And what about FADH? So we obtain 1 molecule of FADH here, and that is formed during the conversion of succinic acid, which is a 4-carbon compound, into malic acid, which is a 4-carbon compound. And 1 GTP molecule is also produced when alpha ketoglutarate acid, which is a 5-carbon compound, it changes into succinic acid, which is a 4-carbon compound. So in this way, we get 4 molecules of NADH2, 1 molecule of FADH, and 1 molecule of GTP, whereas 3 molecules of carbon dioxide gas, it is removed. So here I have written the entire equation. So pyruvic acid plus 4 NAD plus FAD plus 2 molecules of water plus ADP plus inorganic phosphate, it gives 3 molecules of carbon dioxide. This means 3 molecules of carbon dioxide are removed. 4 molecules of NADH are formed. 4 protons, they are released. ATP molecule is there, and then FADH2. These are the energy-rich molecules. Okay, students. So read the chapter carefully and go through the flowchart of glycolysis and Krebs cycle. So that's all in today's lecture, student. Have a nice day.